Hello YouTube, down here at the river again. Gonna get in a quick fossil hunt. It's already late in the day and boy is it burning. We just weren't able to make it any earlier. Anyway, the kids are still dilly-dallying up there at the top and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I brought the Saruka with me. Maybe I don't know if I got that or not. Do a little bit of sifting as well, try to see what luck I can have, because I know this top area's been all picked over, but we'll give it a shot. Hope we do well. Okay, so this is our first time coming on, but it's already 45 minutes to an hour later. Just haven't been finding too much that's really exceptional, and then a couple times when I found something, I had already turned it over and looked at it before I took out the camera. So these were some of the shark's teeth I found. That one right there is my son's. He just found it. Here's a couple of really cool finds, but not exceptional. These are both mosasaur teeth fragments, but this was less than half of one. And this is less than half of one. I mean, the enamel on it looks really nice, but the tip of it's busted. Bummer. And then I just found a cool find. I really enjoy finding these right here, so I was going to bring you along for this. This is a nice sized chunk of mastodon tooth enamel. This is one of the ridges, and he'd have like a couple of ridges in one tooth. They were like 6 to 8 inches long. And that's one of the ridges right there. I am very happy with that. All right, let's get some more stuff. Well, I don't know how good a condition it is. It's right there. Let's look at it from the other side. At least I'm pretty sure it is what I think it is. It's looking like it. Oh, yes. Whoa. Excellent. See, I thought it was a Gary point when I first saw it, but I don't think that this would be considered a Gary point. All right. So the day's starting to look better, even though it's already getting late in the day. That helps out a lot. Awesome. Woohoo! I just found something that's pretty neat. I don't know that I'm going to carry it out, but there's some type of an impression or the remnants of an ammonite fossil in there, and maybe something right there as well, but I think most everybody can see that right there. That is very neat. I wish this wasn't so far from the climb up point, or I would try to haul it out. Anyway, thought I'd share it with you. There, son.
It's a Hamulus squamosus.
All right, hold still so I can come in close. And it's inside the rock, which that's really neat. I found 1 or 2 shark teeth inside the rock like this, and maybe 1 other partial Hamulus squamosus. So that's really neat. That's a keeper.
Yep.
I bet some of the viewers are wondering, what is a Hamulus squamosus?
It's the cast of a kind of worm.
Yep.
It's
a sea worm. It's a worm tube.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a shell. I don't know exactly how they would live. I think it may be kind of like a shell, but they would stick out the end or something, and that part that you saw in the rock is just what gets preserved. Anyway, thought we'd explain that for anybody who didn't know what a Hamulus squamosus was. But you can see here, we've got 4-wheelers that'll come down here and they'll go driving and just, have fun or whatever. And it looks like almost, well, actually, okay, it is just to the side of it. At first I thought it was right in the path. But check it out. Got ourselves a nice, really nice looking, almost perfect looking shark vertebra. So it's worn a little bit on that side. But otherwise, it's got good concavities on both sides. Nice rings. I like when they look like this. So I am very happy with that one. Woohoo! In the same tracks I was just pointing out, my son says he found something.
Right.
Where's it at?
Here.
Oh, wow. Looks like a little bitty. Pick it up and show us the other side. Shark vertebra. Little bitty. Turn it over. Yep, that's what it is. Just the tiniest little one. So I know that these aren't that large. They're not that easy to see. They're just tiny ones. My son actually found another shark or fish vertebra that was just a little bit smaller than this one, and now I found that one. So seems like it's a pretty good spot right here for finding centrums, for finding vertebra. All right, I'm gonna search this area really well. We have a very nice piece of bakelite right here, in that it shows the suture lines real well, and it's a kind of a reddish brown piece, almost like iron ore, or I forget what the other mineral is that causes that type of rock, but it shows the suture lines real well, so that kind of makes it interesting or special. Anyway, we're showing off some of the small finds today since we haven't been able to find all the big stuff. Thanks for watching. Like I said, this is a good spot for centrums, for vertebra, shark and fish vertebra. There's another one right there. Just a little bit bigger than my last one, kind of the same material. I'll take it. I think I have quite a find here, but unfortunately it looks like I may see some broken parts going on. Oh wow. Oh man. That would have been so cool. That's a shark vertebra right there. That's a Megalodon shark vertebra. Well, maybe not, but it's of a pretty big shark, so I'm gonna go wash this off and show it to you. Oh man, I just wish that that had been a whole one. That'd have been amazing. There she is. That thing is larger, or it would have been if it had been complete, larger than a silver dollar. Man. See, I saw it like that, and I could already see that edge right there broken a little bit. Too bad. I mean, I'm still happy. That's still a great find, but if that had been complete, that would have been the find of the decade. Anyway, for me anyway. I'd have been very, very pleased with that. Still happy with it? I'll take it. Isn't that pretty? Silver lining on the cloud. Actually, it's starting to get a little bit dark. So the sun's over there, it's behind the clouds, it's overcast. This may be my last find of the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring you along for it and say goodbye. If I happen to find anything else, then I will edit this part out and close it out later. Nice little shark tooth right there. Real happy about that. Woohoo! Y'all take care now. Bye-bye. All right, well, I'm gonna just add this here at the end, I think. Kind of a little bonus, and I'm still gonna be looking, so I'm not gonna be looking at the camera as I talk to you and everything. I'm still scanning the ground. But people ask, you know, how do you do it? You know, how do you find stuff? There's been people that come out to the river that they know has fossils, or on the beach or wherever, and they look and look and look and don't really find much at all. And so they wonder, how do you do it? To be honest, there's a couple of parts to it that help out a lot. The first one is you need to get familiar with the fossils that you're looking for, or whatever it is that you're looking for. Be familiar with it. You need to have seen a couple of examples in sight, you know, on location or whatever, that you can get used to some of the patterns that they form. Because until you get used to that, your eyes and your brain is not going to sort it out as being anything other than a stupid rock. And the more that you see the shark teeth or the other fossils, the mosasaur vertebra, the more that you see them in location and you get used to that, your brain actually learns how to look for that item. You know, when I was young and doing this, there were some guys that would come out and they would just walk down and walk back only looking for arrowheads. And almost every time they would find 5 or 6. They weren't all perfect always, but they would just walk down and walk back out, and that was it, and they would just about always find 5 or 6 or more. And I, at the time, could hardly ever find an arrowhead at all. And the difference was, at that point, my brain had figured out how to look for, you know, shark's teeth, shark vertebra, some of the other basic fossils but I hadn't got used to looking for arrowheads, and so I just wouldn't see them. I'm sure I passed by a good number of them. I just wouldn't see them. So it takes experience. You know, you're going to need to have a good location and then experience. And it helps if you're with somebody that is experienced that can then, you know, find a couple of good finds, not pick them up, but show you, hey, you know, there's something in this area right here. Look around and see if you can see it. And just point you in the general area, and that will give you the experience of finding it yourself so that your brain can then start processing that. Does that make sense? You know, earlier I did try sifting. You know, I've tried it before, and I've never really had much luck with it. I think I would like to try sifting in a spot like a smaller creek that does cut into the fossil layer, and find maybe some deep spots that have where maybe the shark teeth or other fossils have deposited in a deep spot, a catch or whatever, and try and sift that. I've seen somebody do that on YouTube, and I think that that would be a good way to do it. But just sifting, you know, from the big gravel bars, well, you would definitely need a good sifter. You'd have to figure out what sizes you wanted to sift stuff out of, so that you would only have a certain size, or, you know, this size and larger or whatnot. And it would really be good to have a shovel. Okay? What else can I tell you, or any suggestions to give you? I don't know. I don't know how much the YouTube videos, you know, seeing people find it here on the YouTube videos will help you. I mean, it's going to help you some, because you're going to see the different, you know, fossils that can be found. And as often as possible, you know, I try to show it, you know, if I see it, you know, to get it captured on video in location so that you can see that. So I think that that'll help as well. But definitely, you know, finding somebody that is willing to take you along. And to be honest, that can be tough, because whenever you have a good spot, or when somebody thinks that they have a good spot, you know, everybody's going to be asking, everybody's going to be wanting, hey, can you take me along? And it gets to be a drag for the person who knows the spot, because they just want to get out there and relax and have their time to look and find, and the pleasure and the joy of it. So it's difficult. You definitely have to, you know, build a relationship, make a friendship, butter them up a little bit. I mean, I don't know, you know, what to say, but you just have to have that connection and start it like that. So hopefully some of those tips might be helpful, give you something to think about. Maybe you hadn't before, and good luck out there. Happy hunting. Take care. Bye-bye. So it's the end of the day. We're walking out, and you found a rock, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you find?
An ammonite.
A whole one?
No.
No.
It's only a piece.
Well, show it to us.
I'm gonna be very careful with this, because the last one I found was very fragile and breakable.
Turn it back over so we can see the suture lines over there. Ah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Neato. We'll clean it up and show it to you.